What happens in movies or TV that seems to be normal and you think to yourself that is not what people in real life do? Come over to a friend's place. Stay there for all of 30 seconds to talk about something plot relevant. And then just leave right away. Getting hit over the head and knocked out. Then just waking up later on and acting like they just have a small hangover. Taking turns talking. Like in cop shows when one cop begins an explanation. Then the next one picks up the story at a seamlessly convenient spot. Then the third adds. But. And throws in some more. No one in real life has ever talked like that. Guessing the passwords of other people correctly. Having highly confidential conversations about 4 foot away from the people they are talking about. And not being overheard. Dreaming of kissing a beautiful woman. But actually you're just being licked by a fucking animal. Being a young, aspiring artist, writer, actor living alone in a nice, spacious apartment in a prime area of a big city like New York or LA. When they knock on the door or ring the doorbell and someone opens it within 2 seconds. On the phone making plans. Okay. Meet me at 5? Sure. And that's the whole plan. Where are you meeting? Planning to meet someone in a public place never goes this smoothly. Young singles living in $1 million condos that overlook the city. Answers phone. Hello? Listens to the caller for 1 second. What do you mean Tim got kidnapped by a drug cartel while he was shopping with his family in his trip to South America? Everyone has one paper bag for groceries. And it has a celery stalk and loaf of French bread sticking out the top. Find a parking spot right in front of their building. Every time anyone sneezes people assume they're sick. Like don't they ever get random sneezes? Girl vomiting equals pregnant. Someone hiccups equals drunk. Someone coughing equals seriously ill. Wake up at 6 a.m. no matter what time of year and it is bright and sunny. One thing that drives me berserk in movies is when someone is driving and talking to their passenger. They refuse to keep their eyes on the road and insist on making prolonged eye contact with the person next to them. In the movies this often means a jump scare car crash is about to happen. I'd like to say that's unrealistic but my mom used to drive that way all the time. I hated going anywhere with her. Be a struggling writer while living in a multi-million-dollar mansion. That one always puzzles me. Or, a family moves into an expensive house. But neither parent has a job lined up yet. Yep. How'd that loan approval process go? You frauds? You can't tell me they could all pay cash. In horror movies, everyone runs upstairs. If there was something chasing you, wouldn't head for the door to get outside? Also you're creeped out in the house but you never turn on the light. Typing keyboard furiously to hack in seconds. Edit. Thank you kind strangers. People just firing guns with no hearing protection without becoming deaf. Soldiers running towards the enemy instead of hanging back and setting up suppressing fire. Preparing a huge 5-star breakfast, pancakes, waffles, fruit, biscuits, oatmeal, omelette, etc. that no one eats. I don't even understand why that's a thing in movies and TV shows. End a call and hang up the phone without saying goodbye. No one using a computer ever uses a mouse. It's just constant, frantic typing. Go to bed wearing full makeup. High school bullies in movies. Bullies are way more subtle than that. Always talking all clever and witty. Without a stuttering. Or pausing to think about what you're going to say. Or never forgetting what you were about to say. What else was I going to say? I forgot. There are only 2 movies with realistic dialogue, Napoleon Dynamite and The Big Lebowski. Giant breakfast made by mom that looks like it took 4 hours to make. Everyone sit down for 1 second. Takes a bite and then leaves. The amount of ultimatums in romantic movies is appalling. No real relationship can last if you're at the point of an ultimatum. You're just putting a dysfunctional relationship on life support for another week or two. People don't stop doing stupid shit. They just learn to hide it from you better. 1. Turning on a shower and jumping right in without checking the water temperature with your hand first. And X200B. 2. Lawyers walking up to the jury box to talk to the jurors or into the well without permission from the judge. The bailiff will tackle you. And X200B. 3. Doctors performing surgery without safety glasses. And X200B. 4. Scenes where someone is painting something. Like a wall or a chair. Wearing nice clothing. With no tape. Coverings. Or paint splatter anywhere. People opening the oven only to be surprised and oh no to a completely black roast turkey meat of some kind. And then have smoke just billowing out of the oven. Number 1. It takes a while to do that much damage to a meat. Not like 5 minutes. Like IDK unless you are broiling your turkey at 280°/550°F for some ungodly reason. 2. You'll see smoke coming out before you open the oven. 3. Seriously, how do you overcook something that badly? Stop it. It takes so much effort to be that bad at cooking. Just know. If dinner is at 6 p.m. and it's now 610 or 615. Your dish won't be black and smoky and inedible. Maybe it'll suck and taste worse but it won't be black as shit. Stop this nonsense. The way teen culture is portrayed. Particularly in America. Those scenes where an embarrassing pic is sent to every single person in school. Like. Who has absolutely everybody else in the school's phone number social media stored in their phone? And how many people IRL would actually do something like that? Those parties that are thrown when someone's parents aren't home which literally everyone is somehow able to attend. Always eating out, buying coffee, going to bars. What teenager has the money for that? The amount of sex these teens seem to be having. I'm Australian so it might just be different here. But is America really like that? Drinking heavily without consequences. Edit. Just because you don't get hungover doesn't mean there aren't consequences. You're still putting ethanol in your body and the consequences may show up later in life. Talking without the use of filler words. https://en. M. Wikipedia. Org Wikifiller. Linguistics. The only time I recall hearing such usage is when a character is meant to be awkward, stumbling, etc. rather than being a typical factor of speech. Having a large group of friends in your late 20s 40s that you hang out with all the time. How can anyone have that much energy after a 10-hour workday 50-hour work week? Edit. Wow, not even 24 hours and I post something people love. I'm totally happy for all of those whom are able to spend time with your friends. That's awesome. I've gotten used to bi-weekly interactions especially with COVID and everything. Edit 2. Holy hell Silver, thank you very much. When women run around in heels with perfect hair and makeup. And the dirt and sweat makes their hair and makeup look even better. Looking at you. Jurassic World. School buses honking and waiting for kids that are still in the house. If I wasn't at the bus stop when the bus arrived, it would drive on by. It didn't stop. It didn't honk. It didn't wait. Look in the rear view mirror and shuffle the wheel from side to side as much as they do. Looking at you, Leonard. Here's a strange one. Pay attention to how the actors hold their beverages, especially coffee cups. Often it's pretty obvious that they are empty as they fling it around carelessly without anything spilling. Order a beer without specifying what brand of beer they want. Everyone and their mothers drink scotch. And like it. Elite soldiers agents making elementary mistakes when handling firearms. Running around with their finger on the trigger is the most common one. Once you notice it, it'll ruin so many action movies. Daniel Craig is really bad at this. People that open doors and never close them. Also, people that splash cold water in their faces and look in the mirror to indicate a character is upset. It's particularly strange in public washrooms. Dude. How are you going to dry your face? And what about getting your tie wet? Now that's just been replaced with person upset. Therefore they throw up. Really? People bath that easily? I don't remember which show it was, but I think there were 4 episodes in a row where, to indicate that a character was upset, they vomit. And not a seen a dead body than vomit. She was angry and left vomit. Come on now. That's a medical issue at that point. Leave a 3-course gourmet breakfast just to pick up a toast. Have one bite. And leave in a hurry. In movies, it seems like architects are overrepresented as a profession by like 1000%, and yet there are very few movies about architects. I've never known an architect, but they're everywhere in Hollywood productions. Keanu Reeves is an architect in The Lake House. Woody Harrelson is an architect in Indecent Proposal. Adam Sandler is an architect in Click. And on and on and on. Charles Bronson is an architect in Death Wish. For fuck's sake. Instantly drying. Even though they just jumped into water fully clothed. Also getting super dirty. However, it magically disappears in the next scene. People getting in really bad car wrecks. Like car flipping over half a dozen times after getting T-boned by a fully loaded semi. Just to hop out of the car and walk away practically unscathed. They remove the headrests from cars so you can see the actors better. The stupid slow motion kiss or hug as the world is falling apart. I'm like, fucking go, you can do all that shit later. Just asked a random girl, hey, wanna get dinner tomorrow? I'll pick up at 5. You don't have her address or her phone num. The endless pistol mag. Wearing shoes on their others' beds. Like, who actually does that? It's literally just to eliminate the 20 seconds it would take them to take off, tie their shoes to QCT like normal people. Suppresses on firearms, making them whisper quiet. No. It drops it from hearing damage, 167 dB, to jet engine, 136 dB. You'll definitely still hear the shot. And if the round isn't subsonic, there will still be the crack from the bullet going supersonic. Suffice to say that, this scene, https://www. YouTube.com watch. V = 7 Fockleh's Cra, in John Wick is laughable. Surgery done in dimly lit operating rooms. Why would you not want to be able to see what you are doing clearly? Doctors in all these popular medical shows doing all of the day-to-day patient care. That's BS. Nurses do everything and the doctors come in for 15 minutes. Take a blurry image or video on screen. Enhance it. Becomes crystal clear with all new information and detail. On the first attempt. Serious diseases. From cancer to AIDS. Make you cough. When a woman rejects a man and he keeps pestering her with gifts and attention until she changes her mind. In real life. That's called stalking harassment and she won't appreciate it. I'm doing something. My visiting sister comes out of the shower in a towel. Just as my wife, who has never seen my sister, comes home. I scream, I can't explain. Then stay silent and guilty looking. Every meal eaten at the table has some salad and a glass of red wine. Your dinners are as unrealistic as your breakfasts, Hollywood. Sex scenes are limited to beautiful people and you never see 2 fat asses going at it. When a couple wakes up in bed together, with no wild bedhead hair. Mind you, and just start making out. No swish of scope. No wait a second. Hon. I gotta take a wicked piss, just a sleepy good morning with a little stretch and yawn. And then right at it. When they are playing video games and just turn off the TV. LOL. Walking into friends' houses, apartments without knocking. Computers doing a soft pre-IEIP every time a line of text appears on screen. I can mention CSI, NCIS and all those kind of shows, but the truth is, they do that in almost every movie or show. It annoys me the most when they're like secret agents trying to hack something while hiding from the enemies inside the vent or something like that. Like, dude, they're gonna hear that. Who was the genius that designed that device to make a sound? Almost never going to the bathroom. System hacked. All sitting on the same side of the table while eating and fully turning around in the car to have a conversation with people behind them while driving. People just straight up hang up phones on each other. And everyone buys French bread every time they go to the grocery store. Person goes to the toilets to throw up. Or maybe they were coughing up blood. Do they rinse out their mouth like normal people? No, they wash their face and suddenly everything is okay. Make the school dance a big deal. A cop is chasing a criminal. They get into a fight. The cop gets hit in the head. There's blood on his face. The criminal gets away. Hours later, 30 cops have surrounded the criminal. And the original cop still has blood on his face. Takes 0.1 seconds to hack the White House. Crying without face getting puffy and red and ugly. All of Riverdale. But especially the school. Bad guy runs into the school and just starts fist fighting a student. In what school can this grown adult just enter the building and do that shit? These teenagers have a secret speakeasy? In a small Midwest town? Nah, real small town Midwestern teenagers drink in fields around a fire. It's just not believable. Men and women getting together because they are a man and a woman in close proximity to each other. Wake up with a full face of makeup looking fresh as. Wish this was real. Shoes. On. The. Bed. Eating a few bites of your food. Then get summoned by someone for something or leave. It does not work like that, FFS. Nobody wastes food so abundantly. Throwing a non-specified amount of money on the bar and walking out. When people in the movies or TV are on a phone call, the pauses where the other person's saying something are always so short that they'd barely have time to say 2 words. Like, that's not how it works. Just showing up to people's houses uninvited to talk to them or get info. Happens in every sitcom. In real life it would be, can I stop by after work to talk? Can't do today, I have Pilates. Immediate sex and mutual satisfaction. Putting baby in a playpen when your friend visits and said baby doesn't scream. Probably me being harsh as they are obviously not real. But there's lots of comedies where people repeatedly act shitty towards friends, co-workers, which in real life would mean you stopped being friends or they got fired. Car gets hit. Scratched. Rolled. Goes off a cliff. In a car accident. It blows up. Hand someone a burner phone. Keep this on you day and night. It rings. You better answer. Okay. Do you have the charger? The what? This phone. Did it come with a charger? It's not USB. It has one of those cylindrical ports. Like on an old Nokia. Look pal. Hey. You're the one giving out phones. It's charged now. How did you charge it? Going days. Even years. Without a trip to the bathroom. On TV house parties where everyone is evenly spread out throughout the house having one-on-one conversations while generic techno plays in the background. Few people lock their cells on TV and in movies. It really bugs me when characters stop what they're doing to eloquently and articulately tell you their feelings. Very few people are that in touch with their feelings and motivations. They're subconscious. The non-lazy way to write is they have characters behave in a way that shows their feelings and motivations.